So once you've collected these bibliographic literature notes in your reference box, there's another step actually. So you would look through this box here and find whatever's of interest with the goal of putting it into your main slip box. So this would be your slip box. And the slip box is where your permanent notes would go. Permanent notes. And how does this actually work? What's the difference between your reference box and your permanent notes? Well, the main difference between your reference box and your permanent notes is that with the permanent notes, it's really focused on forming connections with ideas that are already in your slip box. So let's just say you've read a psychology book and you've come across this idea, and your idea that you've read and that you've taken from your reference box is that humans do not always behave rationally. So humans not rational. So that would be one of your notes. And then what you would do is, instead of just storing that in the slip box, or instead of just keeping that note within the reference box like I would have done in the past, you actually look inside your slip box and look at other notes that have a relationship or a similar idea, or they could bounce off of each other. So let's just say this is our brand new note, and then we look inside our slip box. And inside our slip box, we actually have two different notes. Let's just say we have an idea in our slip box that the brain often contradicts itself. So brain contradict. And we've already had this link to another note, which is in our slip box, which is that our human behavior is driven heavily by our emotions. So human behavior driven by our emotions. So what we would do now is we would see these two notes, and then we look at this one, and then we say, we actually have a connection with these notes, because human behavior is driven heavily by our emotions. Therefore, we are not rational. And because a lot of the time we are not rational, and sometimes we're rational, the brain contradicts itself. So now we've actually formed a connection with these notes. And this is really the genius of the system, because instead of having separate notes which are difficult to remember, over time we form this big lattice network of knowledge. So this is how it would roughly work.